first. Then at the end, they want 20% of the equity as well before you get paid. And he agreed. So the investors are going to do really well in this project. We picked up another 10, same exact situation in the Oakland Hills. We picked up 10 homes, single-family homes that were 70% complete, same deal. And we brought that $7.5 million loan down to 1.5.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Really exciting. So,
Are your investors, are they institutions or private?
Private, yeah. The institutional lenders, you know, they see this stuff and
Not institutional.
I mean, institutional investors.
Right.
It's too small. It's just too small for them. They don't like doing anything under 10 million generally. Definitely not a $2 million deal. They're just not interested.
Can I ask you a question? How do you structure it? Is it like a fund that you?
Yeah, once you syndicate, you're under the SEC regulations, and it is so strict that if we do anything wrong, it's jail time. So, we're not allowed to. I can't talk about it on the radio show. It has to be invitation only. It has to go through. It has to be registered with the SEC. So we have to be real careful with that. It's got to have the PPM in place. But that's how we do it. And so the investors are actually members of the LLC. They're part owners of the project. But we do single families too, and we're doing apartment syndications now. Same thing, we're able to acquire apartments in Texas where we can get 80, because the group we're working with has got good bank relationships, we can together buy apartments and get 80% financing on that at 4.5%. So just the opportunities are fantastic. Fantastic. I'm very excited.
What did you do before you were syndicated? You said you just recently became syndicated.
Well, we were focusing on single family because I couldn't. The cap rates on the big stuff was not interesting to me. Not like on single family homes you can get 30% returns. It's unbelievable, and I wasn't seeing that on apartments. I was seeing 12% at it. Not good enough for the liability involved. So now that's changing. Now the cap rates are better. So now we're interested in the multis. And commercial, we're not there yet because I think that's still something.
How much does it cost to become syndicated?
To get involved, to invest in the syndication?
For you yourself, you went from 1 to 4 single-family homes, right? And then you went up to syndication to get to the bigger game. So how hard was it for you to cross over?
To make that transition?
Yeah,
partnering with the right people, and that's what I've done all along. I've been able to find people who've done this a lot. And any time you enter something new, I've been in real estate a long time, but I hadn't done syndication, so I wouldn't try to do that on my own. I partnered with this man, Fred Bates, who's built, 30 developments in the San Francisco Bay Area. And, yeah, this is easy. My first question is, what qualifies you to manage a property like this? He said, of this magnitude. He said, this small? He's got a $200 million project in Florida. This is nothing. So I would never attempt it without the giants, without the people who've done it a lot and know what they're doing. And he's been through 3 downturns. He's been in real estate 40 years. He's the guy that the banks go to unload this stuff because they know he can handle it. And so he's first. Same thing, he's got the first bank relationships to take on the stuff and bring it to us. And it's the first time that he's dependent on us because we've got the money. We've got access to the money. We've got people who want to invest their money. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Very exciting. And it is a tricky time to have access to that money. Like you say, the regulations out there, you've got to be very careful about what you're doing.
You've got to be very careful.
Yeah.
And that goes for you. If you find a great deal and you want to bring a couple of people in it, you may fall under the SEC regulations. You just need to make sure you understand those.
Right.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Next, I also would like to introduce another lady that drove up here with me. Now, she flew all the way from Ohio to be with us today, so I'm just so thrilled that I met her and her partner, Donna. Missy McCall Hammonds is her name, and she's the president and the founder of Turnkey Investments and Bed and Breakfast Property Management in Butler. She and her team are committed to helping real estate investors achieve their wealth creation goals. She currently owns and manages, get this, over 300 properties in Butler County. Her most creative program, Share the Wealth, offers investors the opportunity to own residential real estate without the predictable risks. Missy?
Amelia Marcos likes shoes, I like houses. And I am honored to be here with you and to speak with these other ladies because we have a lot of like-minded ideas about real estate investing. I'm the on-the-ground property purchaser, manager, and linked to other investors. I live in Butler County, Ohio. Everything that we invest in is in our neighborhood because we also manage the properties. And when you have tenants, you have to watch them. They're like bad little kids. But I work with a lot of out-of-state investors. I do the same thing that Linda does. I encourage you to come and see your rental property before you buy it, see the operation, see how it works. We even bought a historic home, it was my excuse, and turned it into an office on the first floor and then a suite on the second floor so investors could come and visit us and see our historical home and what kind of work we do, and see the properties that are available in our marketplace and what Ohio is like. I know especially on the West Coast, you wonder why someone would live somewhere that it's 10 degrees out today with snow on the ground. But it's because of the cost of living and how economical it is there. Our median price of homes is between $100,000 and $120,000. $140,000 will buy you a 2,500 square foot home with 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, probably 2.5 baths, 2-car garage on a half-acre lot, which is very different, at least from the way I was looking as we were flying in, than the market here. So we're able to offer investors the opportunity to invest and actually get a positive cash flow on a regular basis. And how they invest with us is based on their risk tolerance.
Shan, you are ready. Dan, you are ready, please.
It's good pizza. We have a program that offers basically no risk for the completely hands-off investor, but has a good return on investment and excellent one if they can finance. And then we have programs where you can take all of the risk and assume all of the cash flow. And our homes that we sell typically to investors are between $40,000 for the very low end. Those homes don't appreciate much, but they have great cash flow, to the $140,000 range, which is in the median price range, which in a normal market, not what we've had recently, appreciates between 4 and 7% a year. I love the word that you used, a lineal market, because we are very lineal. We don't grow a great deal, but we're slow and steady. Our houses today are worth about the same as they were 2 years ago. But compared to the markets that have lost 20, 30, 40%, I think that's wonderful. You know, I used to have to defend my little turtle of a market, and now I'm pretty proud of it because we don't grow very quickly, but we're very steady. And because of the cost of living, Ohio is a great place to invest because you can make a positive cash flow. We're the people with relationships. We have realtors and small banks that bring us deals on a much smaller basis, of course. But we buy small portfolios from the banks between 15 and 40 houses, and then again turn them over and manage them. We have a lot of investors actually in the Bay Area, and we're just starting to work in this part of the state. Primarily single-family homes, because when an investor wants to sell them, it's much easier to sell a single-family home in our market because you can sell it to an investor, you can sell it to a homeowner, or you can possibly sell it to your tenant. So we focus on that with our investors now. Questions?
Yes. With 300 properties, how do you handle the contractors? You have your own in-house team, or are you pulling people in for repairs in other companies? Or
we manage the properties ourselves. My husband is the primary contractor who hires all of the subs.
Okay.
And we have a pretty fixed team that works with us. We find that as long as you can keep them busy, then we're their priority. And we find that to be the best relationship because then we get the same skilled craftsmen over and over. We have predictable results. Our goal goes from the moment a tenant leaves the property to its back.